What happens when deck building meets legacy storytelling, and the fate of the Empire is in the cards that you draw?
Star Realms Rise of an Empire promises a 12-game arc that changes everything. But does it soar amongst the stars or burn out on entry? Star Realms Rise of an Empire promises a 12-game arc that changes everything. But does it soar amongst the stars or burn out on entry?
Stick around to find out. Welcome back to From Board to Board. I'm Darren.
And I'm Pete.
And we're here to help you find the games that deserve a spot in your collection. And this time we're heading into deep space.
That's right. This time we have Star Realms Rise of Empire, where alliances crumble, empires rise, and your deck is the key to domination.
If you played Star Realms before, you already know it's one of the fastest, most accessible deck builders out there. But Rise of Empire is a whole new beast. This isn't just a new version, it's a full legacy campaign that unfolds over 12 connected games, where your decisions permanently shape the cards, the factions, and ultimately the fate of the galaxy.
We're talking unlockable abilities, evolving factions, permanent upgrades, and branching story arcs that turn your quick skirmish game into an epic saga. Now, being a legacy game, we promise to keep it spoiler-free whilst we walk you through what's new, how the legacy system works, and ultimately, is it worth it?
So, whether you're a long-time fan of the Star Realms universe, or you're just here to find out what makes this version different, grab your blaster, shuffle your deck, and let's jump into the Star Realms Rise of Empire. So what exactly is Star Realms Rise of Empire? Well, at its core, it's a two-player legacy campaign built on the foundation of classic Star Realms gameplay. A fast-paced, head-to-head deck-building game where you start small and scale up fast. As with the original, you begin the campaign with basic starting decks, a central trade row, and a shared goal. Reduce your opponent's authority, that's their health, from 50 down to 0.
But where Rise of Empire really sets itself apart is with its legacy campaign format. As early as the first game, you already have new win condition, which is to be the first to use 5 upgrade stickers on ships or bases from the marketplace. And over the course of 12 scenarios, the game will introduce new rules, cards, and twists via the sealed legacy envelopes. Every time you finish, you'll open a new envelope that pushes the story forward and permanently changes the game. Some cards get new abilities via stickers. Factions evolve over time and new mechanics emerge, slowly transforming the game into something deeper and more strategic.
This game is a prequel to the original Star Realms timeline, focused around 3 core factions. The Kingdom, who are a militaristic monarchy, the Consortium, who are a developed and a wealthy nation, and finally, and my favourite, the Scavengers, who are the outcasts and the outlaws. And once all the fun is over and the campaign is done, you're left with a fully replayable, asymmetric version of Star Realms that reflects every single choice you made along the way. And what's better than that? It's then playable for 6 people as well.
Amazing. What's good about most legacy games is that the complexity comes over a series of the games and not all at once. And that's true as well with this one. There's no overwhelming rules up front, but still enough of a game to keep you wanting to see what's in that next envelope.
Setup is simple and almost identical to the original Star Realms, for the first game at least. Each player starts with 11 card starting deck, with a couple in there which are unique to their faction. For the campaign, you'll also need some additional bits, like the scenario envelope, the scenario card, and the victory point card, and that's it, you're ready to play. And at this point, you're thinking, well, this all sounds very familiar. So, Pete, what's actually different with the gameplay?
Well, as you said, play starts the same as a normal game of Star Realms. The starting player will draw 3 cards from their deck, and the Star Empire will draw 5. The starting player will then play cards from their hand to attack their opponent, and to use money cards to buy better and more powerful cards from the trade window. No change there. Or is there? Because this is where the first change occurs. As soon as you buy a card, you have to make a choice. If you have the money to upgrade the card, do you? So what does it cost to upgrade a card? Well, we should really call it recruiting, as you're trying to recruit the other base factions to come to your side. It costs 2 extra for a ship and 3 extra for a base or an outpost. But beware, at the end of each scenario, these go back into the trade deck and not your personalised hand. In the first scenario, the rest of the game follows the same beat as Star Realms. However, if you forge ahead and are the first to use 5 stickers for either your ships or your bases, you just win.
An important feature with any legacy or campaign game is the ability to save, so you can pack it away, and Star Realms is no exception to this. When you're done, take your starting hand and the leftover sticker sheet and put it into your vault. If you won, take a scenario card and the points card, putting them in there too. Tidy the cards into their individual decks and put it back into the box ready for next time. And that's a basic overview. Now what do we actually think of the game? Let's find out. So the theme. 3, 2, 1.
Ooh, different. Okay.
Yeah, so let's be clear. The theme is really strong. Probably stronger than any other Star Realms product so far.
Yeah.
You're not just playing a game. You're writing that history of the Empire. The faction dynamics evolve. The choices you make have a real narrative weight.
Yeah.
All good. But then there's the artwork. And for me, the artwork is classic Star Realms. But if you're not a big fan of the artwork, like I'm not,
Yeah.
then yeah, you're probably not going to like this. I mean, I think they could have done something to make this feel a bit more different. I mean, it is a legacy game. It does have a bigger feel about it. I can totally see why they don't, because you can replay this with the original game. But I just wanted something that's a bit different. And yeah, I'm not a big fan of the artwork in the original Star Realms.
Fair enough. I mean, to us, I agree with most points that you've made there. Honestly, I'd counter that because you can use this game or it's compatible with all the other Star Realms expansions, they couldn't do too much with the artwork.
Yeah.
However, I think the theming is just okay for it. As I said, it's a legacy game. They could have done something extra, and for all we know, they might have done because we've only played a couple of scenarios.
That's true.
So, mechanics. 3, 2, 1. Oh, the same. There's not much I can say. I love Star Realms, so pinch of salt here, but I think the mechanics are just really strong. It's simple to pick up, it's simple to learn, teach, and I love the fact that there's always something to do. And that has translated it all the way through. With that extra legacy element of being able to stick up your sheets and the little bit of extra choices it gives you, I think at the moment you're on for a winner mechanic-wise. It's just, I love it.
Yeah, I mean, similar for me. I mean, at the end of the day, it is, at its core, it is Star Realms.
Yeah.
So if you're a fan of the fast-paced deck-building game, then you're definitely going to like this as well. And despite my neutral feelings towards the artwork, the game mechanics have always kept me coming back, to be honest.
Yeah, they're solid.
The legacy element, actually they're pretty well thought out. The envelopes for each scenario really help to kind of evolve the rules.
Yep.
And the decisions that you make are really impactful
Yep.
of the whole campaign, really. My criticism, if anything, is that there's no earth-shattering moments like you get in some legacy games.
Yeah.
Games like Pandemic and things like that, they have a moment which can just completely change the game. And so far, I've not seen that. But as I said, caveat, we're really early into the scenarios, so that might be why. So the components. 3, 2, 1.
Ooh.
Okay.
Bit of difference.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's a deck of cards. And there's some paper, so there's not actually, for me, a lot to really talk about. There's nothing that makes you go, oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
So I think that's why I've put it as just okay. What I would say, though, is like all Star Realms games, the box is particularly good.
Yes.
The insert for holding everything and helping keeping it all organised, that just works really well. And they always have. And what I really like is if you have all the Kickstarter exclusives, they also fit in the box like it's nothing. And
Absolutely,
I think sometimes you'll get a Kickstarter and they have all the stretch goals and things like that, and it doesn't fit. At least it all goes in the box, which I love.
Yeah. I would say I love the box, like you mentioned. The insert is great for the game. I love the fact that it comes with really chunky cardboard dividers, so everything fits in really nicely. I think it just is what they've made premium, or could make premium. They've made premium, and for that, I'm going to give it a good.
Fair.
So replayability. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Ooh, sames.
I wonder if they're for the same reason.
So I put replayability. I'm a little bit torn, like you were in the last segment, because you've got the replay pack, you can replay it, and you've turned it into a game of Star Realms that you could infinitely replay. But what I'm basing this on is the legacy aspect. And again, bearing in mind we've only played the 2 scenarios so far, I don't know how much of a surprise and things is going to come up or what you could do to anticipate things later on. So I think replaying the legacy version of it, from what I've seen so far, I think it'd be all right. You're going to have fun. You're playing Star Realms, and if you love it, you can have a great time. But are you going to still have that same wow factor the first time that you play it? Other than that, going and replaying it as a normal game, I think, yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, when you finish the campaign, you're left with a fully customized asymmetric deck building game,
Yeah.
which you can play over and over and over again, which is great. Or you can use Infinity Reset Pack, and you can kind of start again.
Yeah.
And that's kind of all good. It's effectively a build your own Star Realms expansion.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And there's a ton of variety in there already from what we've seen, and I'm sure there is more to come, although we've not seen all of it yet.
Yes.
But I think for me, at the end of the day, it is just Star Realms. So when the campaign's done, how likely am I to pick this up over the core little box game?
Yeah.
Because for me, Star Realms is a game that I take traveling.
Yes.
Because it's a small box. I mean, I've got the big Nova collection, but this is a small box I can take with me and I can play it anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't, if I'm on a big gaming night, I don't go and get Star Realms out.
So next we have the teach. How easy is it to try and teach it to new players? 3, 2, 1. Oh, both good.
Yeah.
There's not a lot I can really say here, to be honest. It's if you've played Star Realms before, in the instruction booklet you just skip ahead a few pages and it'll tell you the pages or the information that you need for this new game, which is basically how ally abilities work with the new stickers and what to sticker and how. If you've never played Star Realms before, the instruction booklet is really concise and interesting, and I can't see anybody not being able to pick this up.
Yeah, I mean, Star Realms, well, it is one of the most accessible deck builders out
definitely.
there already. And I think that's pretty widely accepted.
Yeah.
And I think Rise of Empire really just builds on that.
Mm-hmm.
Those legacy rules just adding a bit more at a time and a really manageable pace means that actually you can just jump straight in. If you played Star Realms, you're in within 5 minutes. If you haven't, the base game is really easy to learn anyway.
Yes.
So you're jumping straight in and then you just let the narrative of the game teach you everything else as you go.
Absolutely.
And I think it's brilliant for that. And I think a lot of legacy games do that, and Star Realms does it equally really good.
Yeah.
So the biggest pro.
Go on then.
For me, I love legacy games. Full stop.
Yeah.
You know, any legacy game, I'm really happy to kind of play it. So that's a huge pro for me.
Yeah.
The envelopes, they do develop from what we've seen so far. They do develop the story, and the decisions you make are impactful. And actually, they're quite satisfying as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, biggest pro for me is the fact it's legacy and everything that comes with that.
I'm going to jump on the same.
Oh, be original for once,
no,
Pete.
well, I'm going to be 2 times Pete. So legacy, I love legacy games and the expanding storyline for it. But it comes around to, again, and I've said it before, I'm a big Star Realms fan, and I like the slightly different game style that the legacy offers to that. So for me, it's a win on both occasions. I get to play a new legacy game, which I love, and I get to play more Star Realms, which I love.
I think my biggest con
Yeah.
is probably similar to that point. Because it's legacy, you need a consistent partner to play it with. But if you don't have that person who you're going to regularly pick the game up with, then you're probably going to struggle a little bit more with this because you've got 12 scenarios to go through. And that is a commitment.
It is.
So
Absolutely.
you've got to be prepared for that commitment, really.
It is.
I think the other con for me, as I mentioned earlier on, is the artwork. It's just not my cup of tea, but that really is a personal preference.
Yeah. I think it's going to be, and this is again a contradiction of what I just say, is depending on what happens and how it changes up over the 12 scenarios, are the games going to be too similar?
Yeah.
For it, are you? You've got the excitement of putting the stickers on and changing the cards and the whole game being affected, but is there going to be no change to effectively the gameplay loop?
Yeah.
For it, and I think, and I hope I'm wrong. I don't know. So that's my biggest con for it at the moment is that I'm
The
not
unknown.
sure. Yeah, the unknown for it. Yeah, the unknown is that is there going to be enough content going forward, and I hope that there is, to keep each game fresh.
So we're at that point where we have to give Star Realms Rise of Empire our final verdict.
That's right.
3, 2, 1.
Ooh. So,
Go on, I'll let you go first.
I think for me, if you love Star Realms and you like legacy games, it's just a solid pick. I don't see why you wouldn't pick it up and play it.
But I think it's casual for me because once the legacy bit is done,
Yeah.
I don't know how often I'd ever play it.
I suppose that's why you're able to get those cards and shuffle them into your main deck as well. So they are going to have that second lease of life.
Yeah, but I just want my travel version. and I think once this game's done, it is the game I would casually get out if I just want a quick game or something.
Yeah.
I'm not going to probably get this box out because it's too big and bulky.
I suppose if there's people around and they really want you to play it, you do have that option. But yeah,
the 6-player element too could be great for that.
Yeah.
100%. But yeah, I think there's a lot of stuff I like on Star Realms, and Star Realms is probably one of my favorite deck builders, which is the crazy thing to put it as this. But yeah, it's just that I think the legacy element of it is not going to be as impactful as I'd perhaps like overall.
Okay.
And then when it's done, I'm going to be reverting back to the small box for the travel version.
Okay.
So I think that's why. But it's a great game, but it's something I pick up casually.
So what we might have to do then is finish the campaign, both of us.
Yeah.
And then maybe do another video. We'll come back to it to see if our opinions have changed in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's our delve into Star Realms: Rise of Empire, the fast-paced 2-player deck-building game that builds on the original with a legacy twist. Have you played the original? Planning to tackle the full 12-game act? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your Empire story.
And if you like this video and want to see more game reviews and other content from us, then please like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss a thing. Until next time, bye.
Bye.